What is up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scout Reports. Today I'm bringing you an anime review of Mob Psycho 100 Episode 7, and man, it is about to go down. Let me tell you right off the bat that next week will be a live reaction to Mob Psycho 100, as the moment we've been waiting for is pretty much coming to a head as we dive deeper into this Ritsu arc. And today's episode was dark. It really was dark, with Mob Psycho 100 once again proving that it is not One Punch Man, because One Punch Man was a parody. I mean, it has its moments, it has its seriousness, but overall, it is just a knock on the shonen genre. Mob Psycho 100 isn't that. It isn't a carbon copy like some people may think it is. And by now, if you're not on the Mob Psycho 100 train, I don't know what to say, but it is such a different series in that it gives you development, it gives you character, it gives you an actual story, and is building to a head these type of things that we've seen in this episode, and Ritsu's path or his descent into darkness. As first and foremost, pretty much what happened with him was something that I pointed out last week. It was kind of a theory that Dimple would make his way to Ritsu as soon as we saw him last week in front of the house trying to get back in. Then he noticed that Ritsu can see him, so he did possess Ritsu's body. However, Dimple wasn't strong enough to completely control his body, but all isn't at loss for Dimple, as even though he can't control Ritsu's body, he is still feeding off of that envy, that need for Ritsu to be better than Mob, and he's basically dangling that in front of him like a carrot to make him stronger by saying, you want to be better than your brother, I can show you how to use your abilities, as your abilities was always there, you just had to unlock it. As we find out, as we also know with Mob too, that stress is what ultimately makes Ritsu stronger. And the thing is, unlike Mob, he actually loves being how he is. He loves being this strong. He loves the strength that he's getting. He doesn't want to hinder this strength at all, as the stress that he's dealing with is that him and that scum Shinji and the student council, the dark student council, are still making their way through the high school and framing delinquents for things that they didn't do to keep their power up or to clean up the school per se. However, the regret that Ritsu still feels deep down in him, because there's still a little bit of good in him, is causing him to stress. But the thing is, the more he's stressed, the stronger his powers is getting. So it's kind of going hand in hand, and we get a very nice point in this episode where Ritsu is to the point where he wants to lay down the law and justice so much that he's beginning to hurt people with his abilities, or anybody that begins to oppose him, just like I said he would, going down this path that he is going down. And we get a nice point with actually Taruki showing up, you know, still kind of humbled after that L that he got from Mob, or however you want to see it. He actually shows up and kind of punks Ritsu a bit by taking him out, or at least condensing his powers by saying, look, you don't want to go down this path. I know what it's like to be power drunk, to have everything, and when you lose it, that's when you're going to get worse. So he kind of shows up and kind of tries to direct Ritsu to the right path by saying, don't go down the path that I did. And then he kind of dips out after he punks Ritsu, but it only makes Ritsu even more determined, as he said, this guy was strong, I want to be stronger than him, and I don't want to lose again. As the path to the dark side, as the seduction of the dark side continues to consume Ritsu, we still got other things going on in the episode as well, such as all of the gangs across the land are looking for an individual by the name of White Tea Poison, who is actually Mob, but of course they don't know that. They just know that somebody beat Ritsu and they're looking for him, and everybody's coming to this school to try to find him. And Ritsu is just using this as a chance to test out his powers and make his powers stronger. As these gangs keep coming and coming and coming, he keeps taking them out like they're nothing, with his powers being fueled by Dimple. And I don't feel bad for Shinji for getting his just desserts in this episode for what he's done to people, because he took a brunt of the beatings that these gangs were having. And when he comes to Ritsu saying, you know what, maybe we need to step back and calm down a little bit, he's like, no, you want to clean up all this evil, right? So just step back. If you're scared, just step back. Let me do it. Now I'm going to take over everybody with the Iron Fist, as the descent for Ritsu is starting to begin. And even though dark intentions was the theme of this episode, we still got some comedy. We still got my boy Reagan showing up, basically helping Mob out, as you can't bullshit a bullshitter, as a couple from like this art gallery or something, saw Mob walking around. He saw he was just this meek, naive type of kid. Brought him in, and this lady was basically trying to say, hey, you want this pie? This pie is really special. It can grant wishes or something. I forgot what she said it did. But she tried to get Mob to buy it. He's like, I don't have money to buy that. And she's like, okay, well, how about your mother? Your mother would probably like it. And he's like, no, my mom probably wouldn't like this. And she tried to knock the vase over so it can fall and Mob will have to pay for it, because you know in stores you break it, you buy it. However, Mob used his abilities to actually catch the vase. When that didn't work, she kind of pressed down on it to make it break, and she's like, you did break this, now you have to pay for it. Of course, Reagan steps in right on time, and you can't con the biggest con man in this universe, as he says, are you trying to con this kid? Her husband or boyfriend, whoever this guy was, comes out. He grabs Reagan up and he's like, hey, you touch me, I can sue you for that because I'm not doing anything to you. Your breath stink. I can sue you for that. That's another $1 million. You're causing me mental distress. I can sue you. Everything that you're doing to me is just adding up to how much you say this kid owes you. I suggest you step off. They didn't take the bluff at first, but Mob steps in and helps out too by using his psychic ability to kind of shake the room and break things around as Reagan gives his story that he's possessed by this spirit. And we get more development with Reagan as well, because yeah, he's a crook, he's a con man, he's using Mob, but you can tell that he cares for Mob. He does, even though he's just using them to advance and get his money and everything. He does care for Mob as he gets him out of these type of situations, and even though he's a fraud, the type of knowledge that he kicks to Mob is truthful. And think about it, this was pointed out to me as well, is that Reagan hasn't had an unhappy customer yet, has he? The way he did it may have been a front, but the person still leaves happy. He still gets his payday and all is well. So we get that with Reagan as well. He always bringing a comedy, and once again, it's good to see him. You can see that he's beginning to build a development with Mob as they're sitting down eating, and Mob is even saying, you know, a con man is the worst person that can be out there. So I think these type of things are going to start to weigh in on Reagan as well, as he's going to begin to question, or maybe he's beginning to see the Mob is beginning to see through him, especially with things going on. But back to the evil that is Ritsu, as he's just taking these gangs down one by one by himself. Straight up psychic powers out of control, and he loves that out of controlness that he's getting. We do see that Taruki saw this going on. He said, you know what, I better go tell his brother about this, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't know. While this is going on, we got that strange hooded man in the mist calling to someone saying that we found something interesting, as I'm pretty sure he's going to come in next week. But the biggest point of all was after Ritsu went on his crusade of taking down all these gangs, as all these members laying waste in the alley, he's confronted by Mob, who is shocked and saying, what are you doing? And that was the end of the episode. Oh man, next week we're either going to get a fight between Mob and his brother, because I didn't watch the preview. I usually don't watch the previews because I don't want to be spoiled. So I'm thinking we're either about to get a fight between Mob and Ritsu, because it's going to be kind of like, get out of my way, I want to beat you, or this hooded figure is about to come in and they're going to have to take him out together. Either way, I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and I cannot wait. Guys, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on in this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. Once again, next week will be that live reaction to Mob Psycho 100. So catch your boy when that happens as well. It will more likely be a live stream. So I cannot wait to see you guys then. On that note, it's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.